Oh, sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
No matter what the technical difficulty is, this man is a professional. He goes all the way.
What you represent to them is freedom.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This will allow me to retort.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver of Common Sense show. 8 p.m. on shrmedia.com.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense show. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to watch a broadcast, go to Reaver.one. That is REAVER.ONE. That is Reaver.one. Click on the live stream. And I got to say it, my daughter gets on me time and time again. Dad, don't forget to tell them to subscribe to the channel and leave a comment. And if you want to become a Reaverite and support the show and support SHR Media, go to Reaver.one. Click on the Reaver store. Pick yourself up a t-shirt, coffee mug, and many other items to choose from. Ugh. I'll tell you what, I am a little tired from yesterday. Whew. I know everybody thinks that it's not tiresome what we do. I did the Reaver of Common Sense. And I'm not complaining. I actually had a lot of fun yesterday. I had tremendous fun. And we had Sean, Sackhead Sean, calling in, giving updates from the Trump rally. So I did the Reaver of Common Sense. It's Wednesday night, so I do Southside Much So with the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash. And then there was the Sackheads radio show. And, of course, during the Southside Mutts, we had a call-in from Sackhead Sean again, giving us an update because the protesters were there, and it was getting a little dicey, he said. But the police, they did a perfect job. They got in between the Trump supporters, pretty much ignored. They had some conversation, but they did not let the protesters get under their skin. There was one idiot that was described as a paid agitator. He was bumping into people, starting shit. No one took the bait, and he quickly left the protest. It seems like he got his 3 hours in. He got his paycheck. On he went. So, then there was the Sackhead show. They needed a producer last night, so I was asked. I guess that's what it would call as producer. I was running the board and everything. They did all the call-ins, all that. And I also was honored that I was a guest host. I mean, there was 4 of us. Clint was in studio. Dan the Man Butcher was the co-host. And Sean was going to call in sporadically. Well, Sean called in at the beginning of the show. And I was everything's going through my system, so I was there. And it was actually, I think, a great conversation amongst the four of us. We all did not agree perfectly, but yet we were able to discuss it like humans. And just, it was a great time. To the point that afterwards, Dan the Man Butcher, myself, and Clint, and I'm not trying to make myself sound more important, Clint is more, it's his station, so yes, he's more important. I just couldn't remember his name when I was going through the list. So, we made a comment that this was actually pretty fun. It was a great time, the four of us sitting there talking. And one of the comments that was made by Dan the Man Butcher is he tries to hold once a month a roundtable conversation, and he's going to have to get us back together again on one of those and do it. Now, I made a comment a couple weeks ago to Sackhead Sean, and I'm going to reiterate it. Maybe more than once a month, we got to try to get where a nighttime show in one of the slots we have. We do where it's just a jambalaya of all different pundits. And we all get together and just discuss issues, whatever we want to. Maybe not even have any type of format. Just whatever happens, happens. Now, I was told that has been done before, and it was kind of hard getting everybody together. And maybe you only do it like once a week, once every couple weeks. Sort of like the roundtable show, or Dan was talking about. I just think it was a lot of fun, very informative. Dang it. And we were able to get different views to our listeners and viewers to the point that it widens everybody's knowledge of the subjects. So, with that said, for some reason, I'm just a little tired. I don't know why. It's mentally draining doing these shows. All right, and I wasn't doing a majority of the talking. I was doing the board stuff and just chimed in. Especially, I chimed in a few times. Hi, Kel. I missed you. And I don't know if you were listening. You should have been there last night for Sack Kids. I know you're extremely busy, and that's not what I mean by it. But you had Sackhead Sean, Sackhead Clint, myself, and Dan the Man Butcher all on at the same time for Sackheads for the whole show. It was a lot of fun, and I can't wait to do it again. That was great. So, but what I was getting ready to say is why we're actually doing it, because I just chimed in here and there with a couple, zingers, and, I made a couple of serious comments. But I'm sitting here playing World of Warcraft last night, and I was just doing some of the trade skills. And I'm sitting here laughing because at one time, Sackhead Clint wanted me to play a clip, which I'm going to have to play for you guys, speaking of. And it's a California legislator saying how California puts laws on the books, and they don't worry about if it's constitutional or not. Because they're California. They just make laws. They don't worry about the Constitution. But what I'm bringing it up about is I'm playing it, and then, the clip got done, and I go back to playing World of Warcraft, and there's noises starting to happen from the game, and it's broadcasting. I'm like, oh, shit. Well, I thought it was funny. But, yeah, it was a great time. Very informative, even for myself. We went back and forth with a lot of information. And we, one point, we got really serious about the Hillary investigation. I think she's going to get indicted at least, or at least a grand jury. And we went over our reasons, and Dan the Man Butcher thinks that she is not going to, which, I'm not saying anything bad about that. And what's funny is we had this conversation, and then the headline for Fox was, how the IG report, which was done by Obama, put some serious pressure on that a conviction, or at least an indictment, has to come about. And then information was put out that I didn't know. The FBI does not have to have the AG press charges. They can work around her. They can convene, now the word slipped my mind, a grand jury. The FBI can convene a grand jury and go about it that way. And if I was Obama, because everybody's like, oh, he's going to protect her, he's a Democrat. Obama's never given two rats' ass about the Democrats. He cares about his legacy and his legacy only. And on that point, Hillary becoming the first woman president, first female president, would be attached to his legacy. She was his Secretary of State. Then she went on to become the first female president, right after the first black president. And it's going to attach their legacies together, and he doesn't want that. He wants his legacy to be his legacy. He doesn't want anything attached to it. It's also been well documented that the Obamas and Clintons do not get along. They hate each other. I know, in public, they put smiles on. They pat each other on the ass. Yeah. It's a dog and pony show. What do you expect? Also, Obama has never given a rat's ass about Democrat Party. Never given a rat's ass. And to prove my point, 2012 election, his numbers were down. The senators, well, all of Congress were up for election. All the ones that were up for election on the Democrat side said, stay home. We don't need you to come out and campaign for us. And he went, oh, I'm going to still do it anyway. And he was holding press conferences and saying, you're not voting for these congressmen. You're voting on my his stance. I can't think of the damn word. I'm having brain farts today. And what happened? Well, Democrats lost a lot of seats in 2014. He has never cared. He'll do anything he wants as long if it helps him, he'll do it. And the other thing that I brought about, we all know that this administration has been underhanded to the point that it's probably done a lot of illegal shit. And I say that because I have no solid proof to say, here it is. So I'll give the roundabout accusation. And Hillary knows too many of Obama's secrets, especially when it comes to Benghazi and all that. We saw what happened to Petraeus. Everybody said he was going to talk about Benghazi, and all of a sudden, they made an issue about his mistress. And whether it's immoral, unethical, just God knows how many people in Washington, D.C. have mistresses. And they're all doing pillow talk. You can't tell me they're not. So for Petraeus to get charged, he was done that so he would be discredited. So that if he comes out about anything, it's, oh, look at that. He's just trying to retaliate because he was convicted. He's just being a poor sportsman. Which was like, holy shit. So, if there's an indictment on Hillary, and Hillary comes out and says, whoa, Obama was behind Benghazi, he did XYZ, he told XYZ, it's going to be, well, You're just being vindictive because you got indicted. He is going to do anything and everything to cover himself up to make his legacy look great. She's going to do and say anything to get elected. We know that. And if it means throwing him under the bus after the nomination, she'll throw him under the bus. And everybody knows it. So what's the best way is you shut her up by discrediting her. I'm not saying she's going to go to prison. I can see a plea deal. And then she fades off into, the sunset. A house falls on her. She melts in water, whatever. And I had made the joke, and I'm half serious, half joking about it, but I can see Bill Clinton in the background. Psst, Obama, tell the FBI this is what she did. She did XYZ. He would become instantly single if she got convicted and thrown in jail. He would be free of the bonds of marriage to go about whatever he wanted. So I could see him being an informant to the FBI. Psst, hey, FBI, as long as I don't get charged, hey, psst, check this out in the Clinton Foundation. Check out what she did. Well, you're involved. No. The people will never convict me. I mean, I'm making light of it, but I could see these things happening. We're talking politics here. They don't give a shit about each other. All right. Just as California does not care about the Constitution. And this is just amazes me. Clint had me play this last night, and it just floored me. Hang on. Got to get all the sound on. I know it's bad, but I got like 3 buttons I got to push and make sure the sound's off. And it's things I do to... All right, here we go.
Chair is going to recommend an aye vote to kind of clarify whether or not there are any court cases that would, I know you're a lawyer, but that would make this unconstitutional. Would that be a problem? And I also know the legislature sometimes ignores whether or not it's constitutional or not. We go ahead and make laws because we're and I also know the legislature sometimes ignores whether or not it's constitutional or not. We go ahead and make laws because we're California. We ignores whether or not it's constitutional or not. We go ahead and make laws because we're California, and we do it anyway.
Let me play that one more time.
Sometimes ignores whether or not it's constitutional or not. We go ahead and make laws because we're California, and we do it anyway.
Whether it's constitutional or not, we make laws because we're California. How's that for you? Now, isn't he admitting that he is not upholding the Constitution of the United States, which he has taken an oath? And yes, when you do take these oaths, you can be charged. There is charges that can be laid against you. And he can be removed from office for it. Now, maybe that people can't impeach him, but it can be done in-house. That is an admission from the Democrat Party on a level. They're getting so brazen anymore that they don't even care. They come out and say, hey, people, fuck you. We don't pay attention to the Constitution. We don't need to. And what do the Democrats do on their site? It's about time. As long as I have my civil rights, fuck the rest. I don't care. Just ignore the Constitution. Yeah. Where did my mouse go? I hate when I lose my mouse. All right, you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. We will be right back.
listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. Trying to find something that I saw a couple minutes ago on my phone, so I'm trying to pull it up on the computer so that I could play it for you guys. I do want to give out a shout-out. I know a lot of people won't understand this, but yesterday there were several people that were sworn in Trenton, New Jersey, in a promotion ceremony, and one of the ones that was promoted to captain, was a friend of mine and a fellow firefighter from Slackwood, Michael Berzicello. We called him Beef. He got promoted to captain, well-deserved, and congratulations, Mike. You deserve that more than anything. Damn it. There was an article Newt Gingrich was talking about. Here it is. I knew I'd find it. I knew I would because I'm that damn good. All right, what he's talking about is the latest thing about Donald Trump. Donald Trump got hit because he didn't put out the list of who he donated at $6.5 million to that he raised for vets. He didn't put out a list. The man did not want any publicity by it. It wasn't going to be a 5-minute thing. When you're talking all these companies, they have to get vetted. You want to make sure that you're given, especially with what's going on with the Wounded Warrior Project and what it's turned into. You want to make sure that the money that you are given, that you just raised, go to good causes. And Kel, I'm not ignoring what you posted in the chat room. I will get to that in a minute. I promise. And it takes time. You got to make sure that all their paperwork is in order when you start giving out all this money. You want to make sure that they're a legit organization. So, the left liberal media, all of the media was jumping all over Trump. So he holds a press conference the other day and he gives a list of all the company he's going to give to. And he lambasted several of the media at that event and called them sleazebags, which they are sleazebags. My question to you, and Trump did ask it, and nobody can fucking answer this. Why aren't they going after Hillary, asking her what money has she raised for the vets? Oh, what was it? Donald Trump raised $6.5 million. She donated $750,000. She doesn't get lambasted over that. He gets lambasted over doing a good deed of raising all that money for the groups. And because, he didn't put the list out. Money wasn't given out immediately. And there's so many bullshit coming up from it. And these never Trumps are jumping all over it like fly on shit. And they keep quoting liberal papers. That's the funny thing is, these never Trumpers, they quote 6-month-old articles to prove their point of what's going on now. They post liberal articles. And now they got liberals joining the never Trump. Great job. So here's Newt Gingrich. Yeah, I gotta back it up.
The country will side with the candidate against the media almost every time because they offer you such a huge, gigantic, stupid target. This latest thing about Trump's donations to veterans, which turns out to be almost $6 million, versus the Clintons, which is about $75,000, is so pathetic and grotesque. The news media just can't stop and say, he's a pretty good guy who did a pretty good thing for people who we really admire. No, they get involved in this baloney, and then they treat Hillary as though she's a real person and a serious person. She's saying, the news media pressured him into doing it. She hasn't had a press conference in, I think, 180 days.
And she's lambasting. The press pushed him into it. Well, has the press pushed you into it? No, you haven't done shit. He holds press conferences all the time. Do you get off your duff? Because if I said fat ass for Hillary, he's a Texas, he said she had a fat ass. She does, but... Now, she ropes off and doesn't want to speak to the media, and they put a spotlight on her, shining how great she is, and she pisses all over him. Oh, the idiocy. So, more idiocy. Kel posted this in the chat room, and I don't blame her for being pissed off. Canada considers changing national anthem to a more female-friendly version. The bill was introduced in January, but just passed a second reading yesterday. Have they lost their fucking mind? Now, I'm not trying to be mean towards Canadians, Kel. I've really not. But have they lost their fucking mind up there? Have they gone like stir crazy from the snow finally? For number one, they've seen the bullshit that Obama has pulled over the years. They then go and vote someone just as bad, if not worse, than Obama. They allow their prime minister to kick military off military bases so that they can make room for these Muslim invaders. He stops the war against ISIS and says he's going to do a letter-writing campaign of hugs and love to defeat ISIS. And now they want to change the anthem to a more female-friendly. Just because, what is it? The one phrase, true patriots love in all thy sons command, would be changed to all of us command. I don't even know where to start. I don't know where to start. But this is just going to the feminazis and their over-exaggeration of the war on women. But I see none of these feminazis, liberals. They attack their own countries, but I don't see them saying fucking shit about what's going on in the Middle East. Oh my fucking God, the world's gone totally ape shit. Damn, that was... guess that was a bad saying to use. There's still people going ape shit. A dead soldier's family banned from home on a Canadian base. Military refuses to release the will. And the woman has a child and can't even pick up her breast pump. We have, in this country, in this world, we have people flipping out over a line that they never heard of before, never seen before. They make such a fuss over that lion being killed. And they care so much for the animals that now 200 more lions have to get killed because of them. We have a group that, as sad as it is and as fucked up as the situation is, we have people that care more about a gorilla than a child. We care more about the enemy than we do our own military. We want to give more privileges to foreigners than our own citizens. We want to take better care of foreigners that enter our country illegally than our citizens that fought for our country. I just hope I wake up and it's like 2008, 2007 again. And it just has been one big nightmare. I mean, granted, I wouldn't be doing this, but I'd be back on the rig. This country wouldn't be so fucked up. This world wouldn't be so fucked up. Oh, my God. It has me speechless on what's going on. The shit that's going on in Europe is just absolutely crazy. We have Facebook, an American company, that's helping with the censorship of opposing views, which is now deemed hate speech in Europe, just because they have a different view and they don't want to go along with the invasion, so they're going to remove any comments. And Twitter is helping along. Twitter users are expressing their support for people's right to use so-called hate speech on social media after the European Union announced they are working with Facebook and others to censor unwanted online speech within 24 hours. The problem with this is, and these people are so fucking stupid, they don't see what's going on, they don't realize what's going on, or they just don't give a flying fuck, is yes, it starts with this because you're speaking out against the government, so they're deeming it hate speech on behalf of the invaders, when really it's because you're speaking out against the government. You're killing your own right to speak up against your government. And Facebook is enabling that. I said it before and I'll say it again. If it wasn't for this show, and I'm not trying to be negative or anything, but if it wasn't for this show, I really wouldn't be caring about Facebook or Twitter. I would have never created a Twitter account. They are nothing but this socialist, progressive, liberal agenda machine. And it's kind of funny because everybody says, how did Hitler get to power? How did people not see it? How did people not see what's going on nowadays? And I'm not calling him Hitler. I'm just, how do people not see what's going on? The censorship. It starts out because they're saying you're talking negatively and offensively to these migrants. So they deem it hate speech, and you can't talk hate speech. When really, like I said, you're just speaking out against the government. And they're doing a roundabout censorship, and people are applauding it. People are for this. This is, as it was deemed by the European Parliament, that it is Orwellian. Digital freedom groups pulled out of the discussions with the EU, and by the end of the day, Index on Censorship, the National Secular Society, the Open Rights Group, and the U.S.-based Free Press all slammed the Code of Conduct. And it was reported that Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube have signed up to a new European Union Code of Conduct pledging to censor and criminalize perceived illegal online hate speech, as well as promoting independent counter-narrative. It's censorship against speaking out against the government, promoting independent counter-negatives. The liberals cannot. There is large groups that are waking up to what the liberals are doing. They're speaking out against it. The liberals can't win on their ideas, so they are censoring those that speak out so that only their voice is heard. That's the only way they could win now. That is the only way they can win, is by censoring the ideology of the right. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. I will be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news program. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to watch a broadcast, hey, go to Reaver.one. That is REAVER.ONE. Click on the live stream. Don't forget to hit subscribe and leave a comment. Love me, hate me, want me to see me fired, want me to get a raise? Tell me about it. And if you want to support the show and support SHR Media, go to Reaver.one. Click on the Reaver store. Pick yourself up a t-shirt. So we're talking about Twitter. Twits. And they've made an agreement that they're going to help the government of the European Union to start censoring its people. And that's what they're doing. No other way of looking at it. They are censoring people. So now everyday users of the platform, Twitter, are having their say under the trending hashtag, I stand with hate speech. And a couple of the Twitters are, it's at offense police, because hate speech will be whatever the EU doesn't want you to say. Hashtag, I stand with hate speech. Hate speech is simply a different term for wrong think. Because to hate that which merits hate is healthy. Hate speech is a nonsense term invented by those who seek to control and censor. This is ugly but shouldn't be a crime. Let him wear it and deal with the abuse he gets. That was over a guy who was arrested and detained and charged with an offensive t-shirt. Okay. When you drive hate speech underground is when you get problems. The best solution to hate speech is the sunlight disinfectant of free speech. Hence, I stand with hate speech. If we were to ban hate speech, the first thing we would ban would be this. Because I'd rather be dead than live in a world where these losers are the moral authority. Because nobody has the right to demand silence from any other individual, no matter how triggered. The definition of hate speech given in the EU document is all conduct publicly inciting to violence or hatred directly against a group of persons or a member of such a group defined by reference to race, color, religion, total brain fart, national or ethical orientation. The argument against it, given on Twitter, can be roughly divided between those who do not trust the EU to not publicize their definition of hate speech, and those who believe that in free society, even the most ugly, offensive speech should be protected. Free speech fundamentalists. And let me tell you, I have stood up for it. I have stood up. I know it's going to sound stupid. I did have enemies within the fire department and EMS. There was one gentleman, me and him we hated each other. We hated each other. I dated his daughter in high school. He tried to kill me during a fire training exercise. We hated each other. But he was applying for the fire company I was at. And everybody was talking that they wanted to turn down his application. And I stood up and I said, we can't. We have no legal grounds. The only reason why we can turn down someone from volunteering is if they have a criminal history. Otherwise, we can get sued, and it's not right to him. The law is on his side. He has the right to join. I got a lot of dirty looks and a lot of grumbling during that meeting, but it was, you're right. And everybody knew my hatred for the man. But what's right is right. I did not agree with anything he's ever done. I don't agree with hate speech. I find it vile. I'm married into a Jewish family. I hate all this bullshit that's going on against Jews. I have for a long time. But, unfortunately, they have a right to say it. Just because I don't like something doesn't mean someone shouldn't say something. There's people that don't like my show because I cuss, I yell, I scream. I'm not this intellectual snob sticking my nose up, using all these hoity-toity terms. You have the right not to like my show. You have the right to tell me you don't like what I say. I'm still going to say it. Just as I don't like some of the shows out there. A couple of them, and they have their nose so far in the air, they can't see what's going on in the real world. They have the right to say what they want. You have actual hate groups. Now, neo-Nazis, KKK, Black Panthers, ISIS. I mean, really, if ISIS wasn't doing all the killing and everything and all that, and they were just spouting off at the mouth, they would have the right. As long as you're not advocating killing someone. But if you're saying I don't like X, Y, and Z because of X, Y, and Z, and they are X, Y, and Z, you have the right. But what the European Union is doing is beyond that. It's not even anywhere near hate speech, but it's anti-government speech. It is anti-policy speech that they are saying. They're speaking out against this migration, this invasion that's going on, which is against the world leaders in the EU. So therefore, they have to stop that speech, to stop the spread of, holy shit, I'm not by myself, let me speak up. I've witnessed that over here in the United States on a different scale. So many people thought that they were by themselves thinking against Obama. They thought they were by themselves speaking about or thinking that it was unpatriotic what was going on. Well, people started talking, and we all finding it out. We're not the only ones. But if they can silence us, we feel like the minority, we shut up and we don't say nothing. If these people in Europe feel that they are the only ones or they are the minority of this invasion, they won't say nothing. So they got to squash the speech. So like-minded people don't start going, we are the majority. We outrank these people in numbers. That is why they're doing this. This has nothing to do with actual hate as defined by most laws. This has to deal with if you speak out against the government. And, you know, Twitter's going to say, no, we're not doing that. Yeah, just like they're not censoring conservatives in the United States. Just like Facebook wasn't attacking conservatives. Oh, wait. Glenn Beck says that they weren't doing nothing to us. And conservatives don't use social media because only social stuff goes to socialists. Well, I'm starting to really wonder about Mark Levine, Beck, Bill Kristol. Did anybody hear that? I don't know if it's been confirmed. Supposedly that who is it? Mr. French? He's an attorney. He also wrote an article not too long ago for, I think it was National Review. He's the pick for Bill Kristol to run as the third-party candidate. And why I bring it up, because the article he put out is the middle class must die. It is our fault for everything that is happening. It is our fault. And we need to go away. We need to die. That is a great bumper sticker for when you're running for president, you dumb fucks. That's who you pick to run. Oh, God, that's going to be a joke. And Glenn Beck, I mean, he's just... I'm laughing and loving that Sirius Satellite suspended his ass. I am so glad. I mean, he has the right to say what he wants, but you know what? He can go bye-bye, too. He's now had twice incidents involving indirectly threats against Trump. Intentional or not, first time, maybe he wasn't paying attention to what he said and he was being a smartass, made the comment, and then realized afterwards what he said and tried bringing it back. Okay. He may not have meant it, just being a smartass. Twice now. And don't tell me, well, he didn't actually say he was going to kill Trump. Get your head out of Beck's ass. Beck, he's sticking up for Facebook, saying they are not censoring us. When Facebook comes out and even says that they're going to do this for the European Union, help censor people. Now, if this was just people screaming for violence against Muslims just for the reason of their religion and just out there saying we need to kill them all, stand up, start slaughtering them, yeah, I would say that's crossing the border of free speech and into inciting riots. I can understand. Now, this is people saying, you know what? We don't agree with the government. We told them we didn't want this amount of people in here. They're not listening to us. Oh, that's hate speech? Oh. The late Ronald Dworkin, a free speech fundamentalist, philosopher, defender of the free speech, and critic of hate speech law, argued in the wake of the Danish cartoon controversy that people's right to grossly offend in a multicultural society should always be defended. Otherwise, the democratic legitimacy of the government was forfeited. He wrote, freedom of speech is not just a special and distinctive emblem of Western culture that might be generously abridged or qualified as a measure of respect for other cultures that reject it, the way a crescent or menorah might be added to a Christian religious display. Free speech is a condition of legitimate government. Laws and policies are not legitimate unless they have been adopted through a democratic process, and a process is not democratic if government has prevented anyone from expressing his convictions about what those laws and policies should be. Ridicule is a distinct kind of expression. Its substance cannot be repackaged in a less offensive rhetoric form without expressing something very different from what was intended. That is why cartoons and other forms of ridicule have for centuries, even when illegal, been among the most important weapon of both noble and wicked political movement. If we expect bigots to accept the verdict of the majority once the majority has spoken, then we must permit them to express their bigotry in the process whose verdict we ask them to respect. Whatever multiculturalism means, whatever it means to call for increased respect for all citizens and groups, these virtues would be self-defeating if they were to justify official censorship. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid promo.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its host, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense show. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover's here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to watch a broadcast, go to reaver.one. That's REAVER.ONE. Click on the live stream. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and leave a message. If you love me, hate me, want me fired, want me to get a raise, tell me so. And if you want to support the show and become a Reaverite, or if you want to support SHR Media, go to Reaver.one. Click on the Reaver store. Pick up a t-shirt or a coffee mug. There's even a skateboard. Listen, I want to play a little clip. This is a buddy of mine, Outlaw Morgan, and he has been killing it lately. Well, not lately, since he's been on Facebook, and he tells it like it is, and it's a little on the wild side, which I like.
Americans are fed up. Want to know why Trump's going to win? Because Americans are fed up. They're tired of the passive-aggressive, overreaching, liberal-minded, backroom deals, corrupted government. They don't want another Bush or Clinton or another Obama. They want somebody with balls. You can cry racist, you can cry bigot, and you can just fucking cry. Because with every article I read about Europe, Germany, Sweden, Denmark, the more I realize we need someone who's not afraid to be called those labels. We need someone that's going to build up our military, create jobs, take no shit. That's what we need. You know, it amazes me that Hillary Clinton's taken 80-some% of the black vote. You do realize that her mentor in all of this was a KKK member, yeah? You seen the pictures of her back in the day when she had the Confederate flag behind her? Be careful, because you're getting played. That's all I'm saying. Then there's fucking Bernie. Ever notice the young supporters always say that he's going to legalize marijuana? That's one of the first things in their criteria of voting. I can legalize marijuana. It's legal. Smoke it. Just do it. Cops don't give a shit about marijuana. But you know what I give a shit about? Your bleeding heart. Your cry for tolerance. The fact that you want to lead us all to a slaughter. The fact that you want us to mirror Sweden and Germany. But I'm the bad guy because I actually say something about it. Well, fuck you. Perhaps you don't spend the same amount of time I do reading articles, watching videos, and learning about what's really going on over there. The no-go zones are real. There's areas that the police can't even go and won't go. So anything's going on in those areas that you have no control over. Imagine for 1 minute that in parts of America, Sharia law became acceptable and real. Or has it already? Imagine that you as an American had to sit back and watch a man rape a child, making him his sex slave, and you had to accept it. Because your politicians, your elected officials, your leaders told you that this is the way it is. No, motherfucker, that's not the way it is. I'm not religious. My moral compass says everything about that is absolutely wrong. Matter of fact, I think you should drag him in the street and beat the fucking brains out his head. Now, I'm not anti-Muslim. You know that. A lot of you know that. And a lot of Muslims are good people, and they're scared to speak up. Do you know why? Because they'll be considered infidels by their own religion, people of their own faith. They'll be out to kill those people faster than they will me for speaking up and being loud. So they're afraid. Very afraid. You can call me whatever you want. I don't give a shit. You can drop your comment below and say, you're an idiot. You're a fucking xenophobe. I love that word, xenophobe. What does that even mean? That I'm scared of people from other countries? My wife's from another country? That I'm scared of people for other faith? My wife has another faith? Well, you're a right-wing extremist. How so? Enlighten me. Let me tell you what I am. I'm an American citizen who is concerned for the well-being and the common good of America and its citizens. That's all. Nothing more, nothing less. I'm a Trump supporter, regardless of what you think about him, and regardless of what you think about me for supporting him. And for all the Latinos out there, I have no beef with you at all. None whatsoever. So stop being so offended when people say illegal immigrants. It's not always referring to you. There's millions of people that came to the United States on a visa and overstayed. It doesn't always mean Latino, so calm down. But yeah, to actually round up and deport everyone that's in the United States right now currently illegally or overstayed on a visa is actually cheaper than for the United States of America to keep these people here. Hell, we paid over $10,000 to have my wife here in the United States for us to get married. Am I bitter? You goddamn right I am. I mean, if millions and millions of people can pop up and not go through the appropriate channels and do things in the proper manner to be in the United States of America, then I respectfully request to get my money back. Moving on. If Hillary's fucking nominated, then she's gonna go after guns. She's also gonna attack the First Amendment. That's gonna happen. And for you little fucking pussies out there that need a fucking safe zone because words hurt, I'm sure that's okay with you. Well, that's not okay with me. Go ahead and drop your comment. Give it your best. Pull out all stops. Go hard. Try to offend me. Hurt my feelings. I don't care. You see, I was born in the 70s. Grew up in the 80s. I watched Reagan become president. I watched Reagan get shot. And never once did he go after the Second Amendment or the NRA. I remember when we had morning prayer in school, said the Pledge of Allegiance, respected our teachers, respected our elders, and respected the law. Back then, if you flew a flag on your house, you meant it. Sure, things weren't perfect. We've come a long way. And though I'm proud of a lot of accomplishments, I'm not as proud to see the direction that we're heading. So for that, I would like to make America great again, and I encourage you to feel the same. Have a good day. Want to know what?
I love this guy, and I've talked to this guy, and he is just full wealth. And the funny part is people do call him a racist, and they say he hates Muslims and all that. His wife's Muslim. He has a beautiful wife. She's Muslim. He's not. He has no problem with it, and a lot of us don't. But, you know, the government wants to say, just because we speak out about a certain group, we're speaking about the whole group. No, that's not the way it works. It just, I'm so sick of all this crap anymore. I'm wondering something. I'm trying to figure something out. Playing around with the program for a second. I wanted to see next time I do a video like that if I could pop it up on the video. Still trying to learn the ins and outs of the program and how to do everything. But yeah, he actually for a while I know I started to become a little tame and I was watching what I was saying. And I watched him and that video, and it was like a wake-up call. I was like, what the hell am I doing? You know, I was more worried about watching what I said than actually saying what I'm supposed to be saying. I was basically censoring myself, and yeah, I'm not for that. Let's see, where are we? Oh, yeah, I talked about Bill Kristol. He has a candidate, and we'll give a flashback, and it's he wrote an article, and it's important to say that white working class community deserves to die. And according to a new report, the Weekly Standard's Bill Kristol wants fellow professional Republican National Review staff writer David French to run an independent presidential campaign. The prospect of a French run has received support via Twitter from professional Republicans who opposed the candidate selected by the voter. However, French's prior controversial writings could alienate a core contingency of the American electorate, namely white working-class voters. While Donald Trump has called on the GOP to become a workers' party, a development Senator Jeff Sessions called for 2 years ago, ironically, in the pages of the National Review, French has defended the idea that white working-class communities deserve to die. Specifically, French wrote a piece in support of Kevin D. Williamson, who had said, "The truth about these dysfunctional, downscaled communities is that they deserve to die. Economically, they are negative assets. Morally, they are indefensible. Forget all your cheap theatrical Bruce Springsteen crap. Forget your sanctimonium about struggling Rust Belt factory towns and your conspiracy theories about the Willie Orientals stealing your jobs. Forget your goddamn gypsum, and if he has a problem with that, forget Ed Burke too. The white American underclass is in thralls to a vicious..." Have a great day, Dan. Thralls to a vicious, selfish cultures whose main products are misery and used heroin needles. Donald Trump's speeches make them feel good, so does OxyContin. What they need isn't this guy pisses me off so bad, it's just... They need real opportunity, which means that they need real change, which means they need U-Haul. French describes Williams' piece as an excellent and said that Williamson's words were fundamentally true and important to say. French went on to dismiss the struggles white working-class Americans endure. Citizens of the world the most preposterous nation, they face challenges, of course, but no true calamities. While French suggests that the decline of American middle class and manufacturing power is no true calamity, others could argue that the greater a nation or culture, the more sorrowful it is to witness its decline. Much the same way that history would mourn the destruction of the Palace of Versailles more than the totaling of Justin Bieber's car. Oh, my God. French insisted that a devastation of the working class livelihood is unrelated to failed federal policies such as mass immigration. I have seen the challenges of white working class firsthand. Simply put, Americans are killing themselves and destroying their families at an alarming rate. No one is making them do it. The economy isn't putting a bottle in their hand. Immigrants aren't making them cheat on their wives or snort OxyContin. Obama isn't walking them into lawyer's office to force them to file a bogus disability claim. And this, I gotta say, this is a fucking supposed conservative. The man is sticking up for fucking Obama, and he's a conservative, and he wants to bash Trump. Anybody following this idiot? Well, yeah, don't bother even talking to me. I just couldn't deal with the stupidity. My head would explode. It just... This I would expect from a liberal commentator, writer, not a supposed conservative. And this is what Bill Kristol sees as the next president. This is who he sees as the solution to the problem. Oh, wait a minute. That's right. Bill Kristol's not looking to actually elect a president. He's looking to interfere with the elections to try to keep a certain somebody from being elected. I forgot that. That's totally different. And see, that's where we need to really clamp down on our laws. Everybody has a right to run if they want to. But they should actually have some kind of chance. And if they're, and it's admitted that they're just trying to screw with someone else's campaign to stop them from getting elected. That's a touchy one. Millions of Americans aren't doing their best. Indeed, they're barely trying. My church in Kentucky made a determined attempt to reach kids and families that were falling between the cracks, and it was consistently astounding how little effort most parents and their teen children made to improve their lives. If they couldn't find a job in a few days, or perhaps even as little as a few hours, they stopped looking. If they got angry at teachers or coaches, they dropped out of school. If they fought with their wives, they had sex with their neighbors. I think someone fucked this guy's wife. Possibly his dog. I don't know. I mean, it's seething hate coming out of this, what he's talking about. And this is who Bill Kristol thinks should run for president. Bill Kristol hasn't got squat right, and God knows how long. The man has his nose so far up in the fucking air, and he's so far removed from reality and the daily grind of the majority of Americans. He doesn't know what the hell Americans want. He knows what he wants and what he wants to push. And that is what's going to line his pockets. And I think this guy, it just pisses me off. It pisses me off. And when everybody went after him, his response was the great white working class debate. Just because I'm nasty doesn't mean I'm wrong. And just because you're a fucking dumbass that has an outlet doesn't mean you're right either. It just... You got to be sick in the head to want to promote this guy. You got to be a little bit nuts to want to promote this guy. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, A merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid promo.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join a live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to watch a broadcast, go to Reaver.one. That is REAVER.ONE. Click on the live stream. Don't forget to hit subscribe and leave a comment. And lastly, and most importantly, if you want to support the show and support SHR Media, if you want to become a Reaverite, go to Reaver.one and click on the Reaver store and pick yourself up a t-shirt. So I was talking to Kel in the chat room during the break, and yesterday I was going through Facebook, and those ads on the right-hand column, one pops up. And it just floored me, this ad. It was an ad for a new Facebook page, Rand Paul 2020. Now, I don't know if it's an official page, but I mean, someone's spending money to promote this page. You have to spend money for those ads. It's Rand Paul 2020. Listen, I'm not trying to bash Rand Paul, but Jesus Christ, we're not even done with the 2016 presidential election. We haven't even got to the general election yet. And people are already pushing fucking 2020's election. Sure you don't want to start shopping and putting ads up for Christmas of 2020 now? Or hell with it, why don't we put some ads up for 2030 for Christmas? Like a new mic stand. Damn thing. Always arguing with it. I wish they would build a better type of mic stand. And it's that old scissor arm type. That's the only ones I can find. And it's got these, I would think they would make one with a ball bearing or some kind of for turning to ease. No, this is metal on metal, and every time you turn it, you see metal being scraped off. The clamp onto the desk is this old style, and it chews up the bottom of the desk. I don't know. If I had a machine shop, I would design and build a better one. Let's see. Where are we? DOJ moves to shield immigration records of illegals and properly granted executive amnesty. The Obama administration is pushing back against a federal judge's order sanctioning government lawyers for misleading the court about the implementation date for executive amnesty. In a court filing Tuesday, the Justice Department argued that District Court Judge Andrew Haney far exceeded the bounds of appropriate remedies for what this court concluded were an intentional misrepresentation when he ordered government lawyers to undergo ethics training and turn over the immigration records of illegal immigrants who benefited from the government's implementation snafu. Snafu my fucking ass. It was done on purpose, and they're claiming, oh, I didn't know, it was a mistake. It was bullshit. That's all we hear out of this fucking administration. It was a mistake. Someone did that wrong. Oh, it was an error. It was a clerical error. Oh, that one, he shouldn't have done that, but we corrected the issue. Bullshit. These lawyers are fucking lying. And that's what lawyers do nowadays, and it's getting ridiculous. They keep pushing the boundary. You can tell they're blatantly lying. We all know they're lying, but we can't prove that we're lying. Because, well, to prove they're lying, we would have to win the cases, but they're lying to win the cases. This is the bullshit that is one of the many is destroying the country. Fucking lawyers. And yes, if you got a problem that I said fucking lawyers, oh well. Because yes, I did have someone that came back and tried to attack me for that. Yeah. Well. Fuck lawyers at this point. I'm getting sick and tired of them screwing this country up. Writing that they emphatically disagree with the order, Obama administration lawyers in their filing requested a stay of order and announced an intention to appeal. On May 19th, Hannon's May 19th order was a response to DOJ lawyers' assertion that before his court that the executive amnesty program Obama announced in 2014, the DEPRA and the expanded DACA would not start until February 18th, 2015. The government, however, began approving expanded applications prior to the implementation date, and even after the judge ordered an issue, initially ordering a block of the program, DOJ lawyers, meanwhile, asserted the court of compliance. They said, yes, we're in compliance. We're not going to issue. But they were sitting there purposely issuing them, knowing they were told not to. And then they wonder why they get their hands smacked, and they should be disbarred, not sent for training. They should be fucking disbarred for lawfully lying. The conduct in this case was intentional, serious, and material. In fact, it is hard to imagine a more serious, more calculated plan of unethical conduct. This judge is a Texas judge who first blocked the administration's executive amnesty program in the case now before the Supreme Court. According to the Justice Department, the judge's orders would require the government to turn over the sensitive personal information of some 50,000 illegal immigrants who were granted expanded DACA. So what? They were given access to this country by mistake. If we were given $1 million to citizens warned by the government and it was deemed a mistake, they sure as hell would take it back. And if we couldn't pay it back because we spent it, they'd be throwing our ass in jail. But no, these lawyers get to go, oh, it was a mistake. Sorry. Fuck you. You ought to be in jail. These lawyers should be disbarred. Not this sent to training. Disbarred. Our government has been a criminal enterprise when it comes to illegal immigrants. Any of these political appointees or any of the political offices that are helping to protect, hide, or ignore the law of illegal aliens should be indicted. Plain as can be. They are protecting and helping as a organization. They are helping these illegal immigrants who are breaking laws and hide from laws. If I help a bank robber hide from the cops after he has committed a robbery, I am an accessory to the crime, am I not? So why aren't these officials held to the same standard and held as accessories? Especially in San Francisco, where Kate was murdered by an illegal immigrant who the town, San Francisco, knew was a criminal, was there illegally, and allowed him to stay and protected him. That is an accessory to the crime. And the government doesn't want to hear from the people what we didn't know. We didn't know that was going to happen. We get told, oh, well, you are guilty. You helped. Our officials should be held to the same goddamn standard. Period. These lawyers should be disbarred at minimum. They're aiding and abetting criminal activity. They're aiding and abetting illegal immigrants to break our laws and to avoid prosecution. This administration has been helping illegal immigrants break U.S. laws. Government's lawyers argued additionally that the judge mandate that the DOJ lawyers who appear in any of the 26 plaintiff states' court regularly should undergo ethics training would affect some 3,000 lawyers and irreparably harm DOJ both in terms of lost productivity and funding. They're lying. They should be disbarred. So being told that you have to go to a class at minimum, you ought to be thanking your lucky fucking stars. Now they want to worry about the cost to America. How about the cost of having these illegal immigrants being protected by our government? How much is that fucking costing us? We don't hear that number thrown out by these idiots. This is extortion from the DOJ. The estimated cost to the department and in turn to the American taxpayer in terms of direct expenditure and lost productivity would be between approximately of $1 million to $1.5 this year alone. Adding that the cost over 5 years could reach $8 million. Well, guess what? Because they decided that they were going to do illegal activity and unethical activity, they shouldn't be paid for their time. Make them do it on their own time. And if they don't want to do it, have them disbarred. Make them do it on their own time. Guess what? You don't lose productivity. Make them pay for it out of pocket. We don't have a direct expenditure. Because let me tell you, as a citizen, I would have to pay for all that if a judge ordered me. I would have to pay for the training. They have no problem making the citizens do it. They should be held to the same standard. We have people in the United States being coerced and forced into taking these types of classes. New laws are being put in by these fucking piece of shit lawyers. And they don't have a problem when citizens are forced to do this. They have no problem with it. The only time they do have a problem when it's their own that get caught. Then they want to make every fucking excuse for the government not to do it. I don't know about anybody else, but I am sick and fucking tired of the double standards that being given by our government. Hang on, I'm looking something up. As I said, they should be charged and disbarred for their activity. So they ought to feel fucking lucky that they're just getting a class for ethical training. I wish I had the money because I would be lobbying for these lawyers to be disbarred and for San Francisco politicians to be charged as accessory to Kate murder. Because it's absolutely appalling that these scumbags are still sitting in office and getting away with committing crimes. And they're laughing. We charged them once, a couple of times, and you'll see these officials start acting like they're supposed to and upholding the laws. But we allow them continually to break the laws, and we sit back and do nothing as a people. God, I wish I had the money because I would blow that money right on dealing with that. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. We will be right back.
Conservative media done right. listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense show. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to watch a broadcast, go to Reaver.one. That is REAVER.ONE. Click on the live stream. Don't forget to hit subscribe and leave a comment. If you want to support the show and become a Reaverite, or if you just want to support SHR, go to Reaver.one. That's REAVER.one and click on the Reaver store. Pick yourself up a t-shirt or two. Now, I might get in trouble for this, but it's one of those memes that I don't know if it's true or not. But supposedly this guy sends a text to his mother, and it's the text going back and forth. And it says, Mom, say me and Avery fell in a gorilla pen. What are you going to do? And she responds of, what kind of damn question is that? Says, just tell me, what would you do? She said, first of all, you would not have fell, because I would be holding on to y'all by your damn necks like I used to do at church. You wouldn't be that close to fall in there either. Kid starts laughing and says, well, let's just say it did happen. Well, then, shit, y'all the gorilla's kid now. And the kid starts laughing again and says, are you serious? Y'all act like wild-ass animals anyway. Y'all should feel right at home. Oh, my God, I'm hurt. So what you're saying is you wouldn't miss us at all. We are your only kids, Mama. My tubes are not tied, and your daddy's soldiers still march. We have everything we need to make 2 more of y'all. The kid says, oh, my God, we'll visit y'all every other weekend. Bye. Now that's a response from my mother. Hopefully it got you people laughing at a little levity to the situation. So, get back serious a little bit. Yeah, the Hillary Clinton campaign is a little bit worried. They're in a little bit of a panic mode because May's fund driving has slowed. Just before midnight, the Clinton campaign emailed supporters begging for Monday before the fundraising deadline for the month of May. I was wrong. I was sure that if Trump became the Republican nominee, this team would step up and support would come pouring in. Campaign manager Roby Mulk wrote in a fundraising email declaring that fundraising has actually slowed down a little bit. If things don't change, we'll have to adjust our plans and run a smaller, less aggressive campaign, which means that Donald Trump has a better chance of beating us, he wrote. He also promised donors a free sticker if they donate before midnight and hinted that Clinton would seize the Democrat nomination this week. Supporters like you are the only reason we're just 1 week out from finishing this primary and nominating the first woman for president in either major political party. Don't you just love that? I've seen those emails so many times from so many different candidates. They all say the same thing. It's slowing down. You're going to let this person lose or win. We're going to lose. Give us more money. We'll give you a free sticker. All right, that may work on my 13-year-old. In fact, I don't even know if that'll work on her anymore. I don't give a shit about a free sticker. Because if it was that easy to coerce people, I'd be giving away free stickers all the time to boost up the numbers. Yeah, if it was that easy, I'd give out free stickers. The problem is, yes, their fundraising probably has slowed down dramatically. She's showing that she's having trouble closing out the primary. Just as Ted Cruz and many others you watched right before they dropped out, we started hearing how their fundraising was fizzling. Why? Because the people backing them started to get worried. Started thinking that there was no way for them to win. So why keep putting bad money or good money out for bad? And that's what's happening with the Clinton campaign right now. There's a lot of people wondering if she can actually win. I know the polls right now show that she's winning or tied. I've also seen a lot of polls online, and I know all these polls can be coerced. But I'm seeing a 50 to 60% difference in these polls online with it positive towards Trump. I've seen several articles where a lot of the quote-unquote experts and higher-ups within the Democrat Party have kind of come to terms that Hillary's not going to be able to beat Trump. They've kind of come to terms, and they're going to. Some of them are saying that they're going to put most of their money behind Senate runs, House runs, to try to take over the Senate and the House. That's where their idea is. Because, of course, if they have the majority in both House and there's a Republican president, they sure as hell are not going to allow a president to do what Obama has done for the past 7.5 years. We could see that with what Harry Reid has done recently. He is up there bitching, saying that bills are being put in at last moment. Nobody knows about them. Nobody's been able to read them. They're put in last moment and pushed through at the dead of night. Well, even if the Republicans are doing that, you fucking piece of shit, Reid, what the hell do you think you did on Christmas Eve with Obamacare? You pushed it through in the middle of the night on Christmas Eve without anybody reading it. If anything, they learned that maneuver from you. But yet he's up there crying about it every single morning. He cut the hours of the Senate, and now he's up there crying because they don't get together enough. He was up there when he was majority leader saying how the Republican Party was blocking anything from going through when they didn't have the numbers to block, when in fact it was him blocking everything from going through. Either you have a man that's purposely lying to the people, purposely lying to get, well, elected, or the man has Alzheimer's. And I'm not trying to be funny there or mean, but if this man's going through that much of a mental lapse, he's also the same man that went out there and lambasted and said all negative stories about Obamacare. We are all liars. There is no negative stories. It is made up by the Republican Party. We all lie about it. And then when he got lambasted, he came out several days later and said, I never said that. I never. Are these politicians that fucking stupid? You are on tape. You are on film. We can replay it for you idiots. I've watched Obama do it. I didn't say that. You know, videos playing right next to him on the news, what he said. I did not say it. I will not go into... What the hell are these idiots thinking? They're recorded. It was not me. It was not me. And there's people dumb enough going, well, he said it wasn't him and he didn't say it, so that's a lie. That's a media lie. Media lies a lot, but Jesus Christ, when they got fucking video, yeah, give them a sticker. I know, that's called gray tape, and it fixes stupidity. Gray tape does fix everything, and it does fix stupidity. Well, it may not fix stupidity, but you sure as hell can duct tape the mouth shut so we don't have to listen to it. It's also a great silencer for wives. Yeah, I did that to my wife. She'd kick me right in the nuts. Even just joking around, if I put gray tape on her mouth, she'd be like, pop. Oh. Oh. I just don't understand. They're videotaped and it wasn't me. I didn't say it. We. What's funny is oh, I'm in trouble, Kel. She just said my full name, Joseph. I'm ducking. Democrat Party is a little worried right now because they have the playbook how to defeat Republicans. They have no idea how to replace Trump because they're going to throw accusation and he's going to be like, yeah, so what? Keep on going, trucking. And that's what the Democrats do. You know, they just ignore it and keep going. And they're not going to know what to do because he's going to be hitting Hillary. And Hillary's going to try to take the high road. She's going to try to because that's the only thing she can do. She can't attack him because he's just going to attack back. And he's going to pull the same thing that they've pulled over the years, and he's going to level them. And with that, that's my show, and I want to thank everybody. It is an honor that you choose to listen to me. It is an honor that you allow me to do this. And with that, don't forget tomorrow, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every Monday through Friday, you can catch the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. Have a good day. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com.